Good morning, I am JSR, senior faculty from Sri Chaitanya IIT Academy. Today let us discuss JEE Mains 2020 September morning shift from 9 to 12, which is held on 6th September 2020, mathematics subject I am dealing. Okay, let us start with question number 1. In this problem, he is giving two families with 3 members and one family with 4 members. In how many ways can they be seated so that the same family members are not separated? Not separated means they must sit together. So, first I am supposing A1, A2, A3B, the first family, B1, B2, B3 be the second family, and C1, C2, C3, C4 be the third family. Because they have to, the same family members are not separated, I am taking the first family as one unit, second family as one unit and third family as one unit. This I am taking 1 unit and this I am taking 1 unit, I am taking 1 unit. So, these 3 units I can arrange in a row in 3 factorial ways. These 3 units I can arrange in 3 factorial ways. Now, I can arrange, internal arrangements will be there in the family, same family. So, first family has 3 members. So, internal arrangements in the first family will be 3 factorial ways, and internal arrangements in the second family will become again 3 factorial, and in the third family we have 4 persons. So, we can arrange them internally in 4 factorial ways. So, by fundamental principle of multiplication, the required number of arrangements is 3 factorial into 3 factorial into 3 factorial into 4 factorial. It is 3 factorial whole cube into 4 factorial. Hence, our option is 1. First option is correct option. Now, let us go to the second question. Okay, it is a limits problem. In this definite integral also involved. So, first in limits we will apply the limit. So, if I apply the limit x tends to 1, it is becoming 0 to 0. So, 0 by 0 form. When 0 by 0 form, we will apply L'Hospital's rule, derivative of numerator by derivative of denominator. When we are finding derivative of numerator, you have to apply Newton's Leibniz formula. What Newton Leibniz formula says? The formula is d by dx of integral phi x to psi x f of t dt is equal to f of psi x into psi dash x minus f of phi x into phi dash x. This is the formula. So, I am going to use this formula to find the derivative of the numerator. So, given limit is equal to limit x tends to 1, derivative of numerator after applying this Newton's Leibniz formula, you will get x minus 1 whole square, because t is there, into cos of t square is there. So, x minus 1 whole square power 2, that is power 4, into derivative of x minus 1 whole square 2 into x minus 1 minus 0 divided by derivative of denominator. Here product is there, so apply product rule, x minus 1 into derivative of sin of x minus 1 cos x minus 1 plus sin x minus 1 into 1. Now, you have to apply the limit. When you apply the limit, again you are going to get 0 by 0 form. So, I am simplifying this like this, limit x tends to 1, x minus 1 whole square 2 times into cos of x minus 1 whole power 4 divided by, I am shifting this x minus 1 to the denominator of denominator. Then I will get cos x minus 1 plus sin x minus 1 by x minus 1. Now, I am applying the limit. This is equal to 2 times of, when x tends to 1, x minus 1 whole square becomes 0 power 2 into cos 0 is 1 divided by cos 0 is 1 plus limit x, when x tends to 1, x minus 1 tends to 0, therefore, this becomes 1. So, it is 0 by 2, therefore, 0. So, our option is 0, but in the 4 options he has not given 0. So, I think we will get bonus marks for this. So, no option. So, let us go to the fourth problem. Let me read the problem. A ray of light coming from a point 2 comma 2 is incident at an angle 30 degrees on the line x is equal to 1 at the point A. The ray gets reflected on the line x is equal to 1 and meets x axis at the point B, then the line AB passes through the point. For this I am drawing the diagram first. This is x axis, this is y axis. I am taking this is x is equal to 1 line. He is saying from this point 2 comma 2 root 3, let us suppose that point be P 2 comma 2 root 3. From this point a ray is incident on this line x is equal to 1 at point A with an angle 30 degrees, and again it is reflecting like this. It is incident like this, next reflecting like this. So, when this is 30 degrees, this is also 30 degrees. So, first, so what is B here? X axis at B, reflected ray intersect x axis at B. Now, the question is then line AB passes through which point among these 4 options? Now, I am calculating what is slope of this line. I am drawing an horizontal line, this angle will be 60 degrees. Therefore, slope of this line m is equal to tan theta, tan 60 is root 3. So, therefore, equation of AP line is y minus 2 root 3 is equal to root 3 into x minus 2. This line meets the line x is equal to 1 at A. Let us suppose A be 1 comma y, because A point lie on x is equal to 1. Now, substitute in this, then I will get y minus 2 root 3 is equal to root 3 into 1 minus 2 is minus root 3. Therefore, y is equal to root 3. So, the point A is 1 comma my root 3, 1 comma root 3. So, now I am calculating the line AB. AB slope of AB is, because it is making an angle 60, 30, next 60, 150. So, therefore, slope of AB is equal to tan 150, that is minus root 3. So, equation of AB is y minus y1 is root 3 is equal to m is minus root 3 into x minus x1 is x minus 1. This is the equation of line AB. Which point satisfies, which point is lying on this line AB he is asking. So, obviously, third satisfies. If you substitute 3 comma minus root 3, minus root 3 minus root 3 minus 2 root 3 left hand side, and in right hand side minus root 3 times 3 minus 1 is 2. So, minus 2 root 3. Therefore, 3 comma minus root 3 satisfies. Therefore, the answer is 3 for the fourth problem. Let us start fifth question. L1 be the tangent to the first parabola, L2 be a tangent to the second parabola such that L1 L2 intersect at right angle. Then L1 and L2 meet on which straight line he is asking. For that, let us try to write the equations of the lines L1 and L2. What is the first line L1? Let m be the slope of the first line L1, then equation of L1 is y is equal to m into x plus 1 plus c is a by m. So, 1 by m. This is the equation of the tangent to the first parabola. Now, similarly, I will write the equation of the tangent to the second parabola. Because L1 and L2 are perpendicular, when m is slope of L1, then minus 1 by m is slope of L2. So, equation of L2 becomes y is equal to m into x plus 2 plus a by m. A is 2 here for the second parabola. So, 2 by minus 1 by m, that is y is equal to, this is slope is minus 1 by m. So, minus 1 by m. So, the equation of the second line becomes minus x by m minus 2 by m minus 2 m. Now, solve these two lines L1 and L2, remove the parameter m, then you will get the straight line. So, I am solving 1 and 2. I am substituting 1 into m into x plus 1 plus 1 by m is equal to minus x by m minus 2 by m minus 2 m. I am simplifying this, I am shifting into left hand side, then x into m plus 1 by m is equal to minus m minus 2 m minus 3 m minus 1 by m minus 2 by m minus 3 by m, which is equal to minus 3 times of m plus 1 by m. That is, that implies x is equal to minus 3, implies x plus 3 is equal to 0 is our required line. So, our option is first option. First option is correct option. Now, we will go to sixth problem. He has given A is equal to set of all ordered pairs such that mod x plus mod y less than or equal to 1 and 2 y square greater than or equal to mod x. Mod x plus mod y less than or equal to 1 gives the region bounded by a square. I am drawing the diagram for it. When both positive, x positive, y positive, it is x plus y is equal to 1. Next, x negative, y positive, it will be this, and x negative, y negative, this. So, this gives the region, interior region of this square. This inequality gives interior region of this square, and 2y square greater than or equal to mod x implies 2y square greater than or equal to x if x positive and 2y square greater than or equal to minus x if x negative. So, these two inequalities gives the exterior region of the parabolas. 2y square is equal to x and 2y square is equal to minus x. So, I am drawing these two parabolas. This is second parabola, this, and this is first parabola. So, our required area is, this area A is area of the region inside the square and outside of these two parabolas, that is this area what he is asking. To find this area, since the curves are symmetric, I will find out this first quadrant area and I will take 4 times of it, that is my required area. So, required area is equal to 4 times of area in first quadrant. So, to calculate area in first quadrant, that is this area, this part. To calculate this part, I am dividing this into 2 parts, A1 plus A2. This is A1 and this is A2. What is this point of intersection? If I solve these two curves, this is line x plus y is equal to 1 and this curve is 2y square is equal to x. If I solve these two, I will get 1 by 2 comma 1 by 2. This point is 1 by 2 comma 1 by 2. So, this area plus this area. This area is, this is a right angle triangle and plus this area. So, I am writing 4 times of A1 plus A2, 4 times of A1 is this area, this part. So, I am using integration to solve this area, definite integrals I am using 0 to 1 by 2. 0 to 1 by 2 x dx plus A2. A2 is, this is a right angle triangle, half into base into height I am using, half into base if I take this is 1 by 2, height if I take this is also 1 by 2. So, this is total area x dy. So, 4 times of integral 0 to 1 by 2, your x is 2y square. So, 2y square dy plus 1 by 8. If you simplify this, 4 times of 1 by 8 is 1 by 2 plus this I am simplifying 2y cube by 3 between the limits 0 to 1 by 2. So, which is equal to 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3, which will give you 5 by 6. So, our answer is fourth option is correct option. Okay. Now, let us go to seventh problem. Okay. This problem is from determinants. So, we have to find out this determinant, afterwards the maximum minimum value we will find out. Let us simplify this first. See, if you observe in the first column and second column, cos square and sin square is there. So, I am applying column operation, C1 I will take it as C1 plus C2. So, C1 as C1 plus C2, then you will get cos square x plus 1 plus sin square x is 1 plus 1 2, this plus this will give you again 2, this plus this 1 and second column as it is 1 plus sine square x, sine square x, sine square x, and third column I am writing as it is sine 2x, sine 2x, 1 plus sine 2x. Now, 2 is there, so I am using row operation, first row, second row. So, R1 I am changing as R1 minus R2, simultaneously R3 I am changing as R3 minus R2. So, first row will become 0, 1, 0. Second row as it is 2 sine square x, sine 2x. Third row R3 minus R2, 1 minus 2 minus 1, 0, 1. I am expanding this on first row R1, I am getting minus 1 into 2 minus sine 2x. So, 2 plus sine 2x, 2 plus sine 2x I am getting. So, small m, capital M are respectively minimum and maximum values of this function. So, what is small m? Small m is minimum of this. This is equal to minus 2 minus sine 2x. So, m is minimum of this minus 2 minus, to get minimum value I should subtract maximum. What is maximum of 2x? 1. So, that is minus 3. Capital M is equal to get maximum value I should subtract minimum. So, minus 2 minus minimum value of sine 2x is minus 1. So, it is minus 2 plus 1 minus 1. Therefore, m comma small m comma capital M is minus 3 comma minus 2. Minus 3 comma minus 2 is the answer. Minus 3 comma minus 1 is the answer. Minus 3 comma minus 1. Third option is correct option. Now, let us go to the eighth problem. Okay. In this problem, this is from functional equations, f of x plus y is equal to f x into f y. So, you can guess f x as some constant power x will satisfy this equation. Now, he has given second condition as x is equal to 1 to infinite f x is equal to 2. Means x is equal to 1 to 2, 1 to infinite, f x is a power x is equal to 2. This is infinite geometric series. So, infinite geometric series formula is a plus a square, means first term is a by 1 minus r, common ratio is also a by 1 minus a is equal to 2. Since S infinity is equal to a by 1 minus r is the formula. So, 2 minus 2a is equal to a implies 3a is equal to 2. So, a is equal to 2 by 3, but he is asking f of 4 by f of 2. I got a value 2 by 3, therefore, f x value is 2 by 3 power x. Now, f of 4 by f of 2 is equal to 2 by 3 power 4 by 2 by 3 power 2. So, 2 by 3 whole square. So, 4 by 9. So, option is fourth option. Fourth option is correct option for eighth problem. Now, let us go to ninth problem. In ninth problem, he is asking from 3D lines and planes. The shortest distance between the first line and the second line. These two planes combinedly represents line. Okay. First line is this. This is symmetric form of the straight line. So, it is passing through the point 1 comma minus 1 comma 0 and having direction ratios 0 minus 1 1. And second line is, this is the second line, which is line of intersection of these two planes. So, this is first plane and this is second plane. This is L1, this is L2. Now, I am to find the shortest distance between these two lines. I will find out a plane containing the second line and parallel to the first line, and I will find the perpendicular distance from the point on the first line to that plane, that will be the shortest distance between these two lines. So, any plane containing plane through second line L2 and parallel to L1 is x plus y plus z plus 1 plus lambda into 2x minus y plus z plus 3 is equal to 0. This be the plane which contains second line and parallel to first line. Then drs of this line are 0 minus 1 1 and drs of normal to this plane are 1 plus 2 lambda 1 minus lambda 1 plus lambda. So, I am using when line and plane are parallel, the condition is a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 is equal to 0, a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 equal to 0. Therefore, 0 into 1 plus 2 lambda 0 plus minus 1 into 1 plus 1 minus lambda plus 1 into 1 plus lambda is equal to 0. This is the condition. From here you will get lambda value minus 1 plus lambda plus 1 plus lambda is equal to 0, implies lambda is 0. That means, when lambda is 0, what is our plane? X plus y plus z plus 1 is equal to 0 is parallel to the first line. Therefore, shortest distance is perpendicular distance from the point to the first plane, x plus y plus z plus 1 is equal to 0. The perpendicular distance is 1 minus 1 plus 0 plus 1 divided by root over 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square, that is 1, which is equal to 1 by root 3. So, the shortest distance between the given two lines is 1 by root 3. So, the option 2 is the correct option. So, with this it completes 9th problem. Let us go to the 10th problem. Okay, this problem is from quadratic equations. It is a simple problem. He has given alpha beta are the roots of the quadratic equation x square minus 64x plus 256 is equal to 0. So, alpha plus beta sum of the roots minus b by a is 64 and product of the roots alpha beta is equal to c by a 256. Now, he is asking you to find this value alpha, the given expression is alpha power 3 by 8 by beta power 5 by 8 plus beta power 3 by 8 by alpha power 5 by 8, which is equal to LCM is alpha beta whole power 5 by 8 is LCM, and this into this will give you alpha power 3 by 8 into alpha power 5 by 8 alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta value is 64, alpha beta value is 256 whole power 5 by 8. This is 64 divided by 256 means 2 power 8. So, it total becomes 2 power 5, that is 32. So, 2 is the answer. So, which option? Second option is correct option for 10th problem. Let us go to the 11th problem. Okay. In 11th problem, he is asking average speed of the car over the interval t1 comma t2 is attained at the point, means at which value of t you have the average speed. Okay. He has given f of t is equal to a t square plus b t plus c. Okay, always speed is equal to the derivative. So, if I find out f dash t, I will get the speed 2at plus b is the speed of the car. Now, average speed is f of t1 in the interval t1 to t2 he is asking. So, f of t1 plus f of t2 by 2 is the average speed. So, what is f of t1? 2a t1 plus b, f of t2 is 2a t2 plus b by 2, which is equal to a into t1 plus t2 plus 2b by 2 is b. So, this is the value, this is the average speed. This can be expressed as a into t1 plus t2 by 2 plus b, and if you observe the derivative of the function f of t, f dash t is 2at plus b. Here I have, because 2 I am writing here means I have to multiply by 2, then 2a into t plus b form. So, this is nothing but f dash of t1 plus t2 by 2. So, therefore, t is equal to t1 plus t2 by 2. So, the average speed occurs at t1 plus t2 by 2. So, our answer is 2. Second option is correct option for 11th problem. Now, we will go to the 12th problem. Out of 11 consecutive natural numbers, if 3 numbers are selected random without repetition, then the probability that they are in AP with positive common difference is. This is the question. So, from 11 consecutive natural numbers, if 3 numbers are selected, then the probability that they are in AP. Let E be the event that they are in AP, the selected numbers are in AP. What is n of s? From 11 consecutive natural numbers. Okay, let us suppose the 11 consecutive natural numbers be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to 11. These are 11 consecutive natural numbers. From these 11 consecutive natural numbers, in how many different ways I can select 3 natural numbers? That is n of s. 11 C 3 ways I can select, that is n of s. Let E be the required event, then what is n of E? If I select 3 numbers, those 3 numbers must be in AP. Let us suppose A, B, C be the 3 numbers which are in AP, then what is the condition? The condition is A plus C is equal to 2B. This is the condition. That means selecting 3 numbers from 11 different numbers is nothing but the number of ways of selecting 2 numbers so that their sum is even number. In how many ways you can select 3 numbers which are in AP is equal to the number of ways of selecting 2 numbers from these 3 11 numbers such that their sum is an even number. So, from 11 numbers I am selecting 2 numbers so that their sum is even number. So, means I have to select 2 even or 2 odd. How many even numbers are there? 5 even numbers. So, from 5 even numbers 2 even numbers can be selected in 5C2 ways, then the sum is even. Or I can select 2 odd numbers from those odd numbers. 6 odd numbers are there in these 11 consecutive natural numbers. So, from 6 odd numbers 2 odd numbers can be selected in 6C2 ways. So, 5C2 is 10 and 6C2 value is 15. So, total 25 ways. So, probability of E is equal to n of E by n of S. (25 by 11C3). 25 by 11C3 value is 11 into 10 into 9 divided by 3 factorial means 3 into 2 into 1. 3 ones are 3 threes are 5 twos are 5 fives are 2 gets cancelled 5 by 33. So, first option is correct option. So, for 12th problem just definition of probability. Now, we go to 13th problem. Okay, in this problem he has given one equation which is related by A, B, C, D and P, and they are non-zero distinct real numbers. So, A, B, C, D are in AP or in GP, 4 options he has given. Now, if you observe, see A square into P square, and in the second term also 2AB into P, 2APB and this B square. If I write at one place, that is of the form A square minus 2AB plus B square form. So, A square P square AP whole square minus 2 times of AP into B plus B square. So, the given equation implies similarly BP whole square minus 2 times of BP into C plus a C square plus CP whole square minus 2 times of CP into D plus D square is equal to 0. So, the given equation can be adjusted in this form. Now, this can be written as AP minus B whole square plus BP minus C whole square plus CP minus D whole square. Now, this is of the form x square plus y square is plus z square is equal to 0. When x square plus y square plus z square is equal to 0 is possible only when x is equal to y is equal to z is equal to 0. That implies AP minus B must be 0, BP minus C must be 0, CP minus D must be 0. This implies P is equal to B by A. From this P is equal to C by B. From this P is equal to D by C. So, B by A equal to C by B equal to D by C means A, B, C, D are in GP because common ratio is same. So, A, B, C, D are in GP is the correct answer. So, option 1 is the correct option. So, with this it completes 13th problem sorry. With this it completes 13th problem. Now, let us go to 14th problem. Okay, this problem is from differential equations. I am just taking the differential equation. Given differential equation implies, see here 1 plus x square plus y square plus x square y square. Here I can factorize square root of, if I factorize I will get 1 plus x square into 1 plus y square plus xy dy by dx is equal to 0. See, now if you observe this is a variable separable form. You can solve this differential equation by using variable separable method. So, root of 1 plus x square, you can adjust it like this, root of 1 plus x square by x into dx plus y by root of 1 plus y square dy is equal to 0. Now, integrate integral of this, integral of this, integral of this. How to evaluate this integral? For that you take the substitution 1 plus x square is equal to t square, x dx equal to t dt, implies root of 1 plus x square is, in fact I am multiplying and dividing by x, then I will get like this. Now, this becomes t divided by x square means t square minus 1 into x dx is t dt plus, to evaluate this 1 by 2, I am multiplying and dividing by 2, 2y by root over 1 plus y square dy integral 0. Now, I am simplifying here, t square by t square minus 1, that I am writing t square by t square minus 1, I can write 1 plus 1 by t square minus 1 dt plus root over 1 plus y square. This becomes integral f dash y by fy 2 root fy, 2 gets cancelled. So, root fy is equal to c. Integral 1 dt is t plus integral of 1 by t square minus 1, 1 by 2 ln of t minus 1 by t plus 1 plus root over 1 plus y square is equal to c. T is root over 1 plus x square, root over 1 plus x square. This t value is root over 1 plus x square, this value I am writing now root over 1 plus y square, because in the options he has given root over 1 plus x square and root over 1 plus y square forms. This I am shifting is equal to 1 by 2 times ln of, actually I will get minus 1 by 2 times. So, I am interchanging this ratio ln of t plus 1 by t minus 1 plus c. So, this is equal to 1 by 2 times ln of, this is root over 1 plus x square plus 1 by root over 1 plus x square minus 1 plus c. So, which option is correct option? I think this fourth one, you are getting fourth one. Root over 1 plus y square plus root over 1 plus x square is equal to 1 by 2 times of ln of root over 1 plus x square plus 1 by root over 1 plus x square minus 1. So, fourth option is correct option. With this it completes 14th problem. Now, let us go to 15th. Okay. This problem is from statistics. Here the observations are x1, x2, x3, xn, and he has given sigma I is equal to 1 to n xi minus a is n, and sigma is equal to 1 to n xi minus a whole square is NA. Standard deviation for these observations you have to find out. Let us suppose this xi minus a, where a is some constant, is yi, let us suppose. Now, yi's are observations. How I am getting observations yi's? When I subtract a constant from the observations xi's. So, when a constant is added or subtracted to the observations, the standard deviation will not change. So, to find the standard deviations for the observations x1, x2, xn is equal to, is same as finding the standard deviation for yi's. So, I am finding the standard deviation for yi's, that will be our answer. Okay. Let xi minus a is equal to yi, then the first equation becomes sigma I is equal to 1 to n yi is equal to n, and from this sigma I is equal to 1 to n xi minus a I am taking yi, therefore, yi whole square is equal to n. Now, standard deviation for yi's, what is standard deviation formula for yi's? Root over sigma yi square by n minus sigma yi by n whole power 2. This is the formula for standard deviation. Now, I am substituting sigma yi square value is NA, I am just putting by n minus sigma yi value is n. So, n by n whole power 2, which is equal to root over a minus, this is 1 square is 1, a minus 1. So, this is a standard deviation for yi's, but I told you when constant is added or subtracted to the observations, standard deviation will not change. Hence, for these observations also standard deviation is root over a minus 1 only. Hence, fourth option is correct option. We will go to 16th problem. Okay. This problem is from system of linear equations. This system of linear equations has infinitely many solutions. For what value of lambda and mu, this system of equations has infinitely many solutions, he is asking. See, let us suppose this is the first equation, this is second, this is third. Now, x coefficients are same, so I am eliminating this x by solving. 2 minus 1 I am doing, y minus y plus 2z is equal to 3, number 4. I am doing 3 minus 2, I am eliminating x. So, y plus lambda minus 3 into z is equal to mu minus 5. This is number 5. See, these three equations has infinitely many solutions if and only if these equations has infinitely many solutions. When these two equations has infinitely many solutions, two equations, two unknowns, these two equations are two lines in yz plane. So, they are having infinitely many solutions if they coincide. When they coincide, the condition is a1 by a2, that is 1 by 1 is equal to b1 by b2, 2 by lambda minus 3 is equal to c1 by c2, 3 by mu minus 5. So, therefore, if you cross multiply, lambda minus 3 is equal to 2, mu minus 5 is equal to 3. So, lambda is equal to 5, mu is equal to 8. So, these are the values of lambda and mu 5 comma 8 respectively, 5 and 8, 5 and 8, fourth option is correct option. Let us go to 17th problem. The negation of the Boolean expression, this is nothing but negation of P or negation P and Q. This is equal to negation of, for this I am applying distributive law, P or this, P or negation P and P or Q. Since by using distributive law, this is equivalent to this. Now, negation of P or negation P is a tautology and P or Q. Since any statement P or negation of P is tautology. Now, negation of tautology and any statement is the same statement P or Q. Since tautology and any statement is equivalent to the statement, this is equivalent to negation of P or Q. By De Morgan's laws, you can write negation of P and negation of Q, since by De Morgan's law. So, this is our option. So, the first one is correct option. So, with this it completes 17th problem. Let us go to 18th. Okay, this problem is from complex numbers. He has given Z be a complex number of the form I plus y, iy, x plus iy, and with the condition mod z, modulus of z minus real part of z is always less than or equal to 1. This is the condition, and this set is given by which inequality he is asking. Just put z is equal to x plus iy in this inequality and simplify, we will get the solution, we will get the answer. Modulus of z is what? Root over x square plus y square. When z is x plus iy, mod z is root over x square plus y square minus what is real part of z? X is real part of z, x less than or equal to 1. I am simplifying this inequality. Root over x square plus y square is less than or equal to 1 plus x. Square root of x square plus y square is always greater than or equal to 0. Therefore, root over x square plus y square less than or equal to 1 plus x can be written as x square plus y square less than or equal to 1 plus x whole square. By squaring on both sides, I am getting this inequality. So, x square plus y square less than or equal to 1 plus x square plus 2x, x square x square. So, y square is less than or equal to 2x plus 1, y square is less than or equal to 2x plus 1, 2 common, x plus 1 by 2 you can get. So, our which option is correct option? Third option is correct option. With this it completes 18th problem. Let us go to 19th. This problem is from definite integrals, he has given I1 and I2, he is asking relation between I1 and I2, and in I1 and I2 if you observe the powers, they are 101 and 100. So, I am selecting I2 and I will apply by parts and I will try to get in terms of I1. So, for that I am selecting I2, I2 I am writing as integral 0 to 1 minus x power 50 whole power 101 into 1 dx. I am applying by parts for this. This is first function, this is second function is equal to first function u 1 minus x power 50 whole power 101 into integral 1 dx is x between the limits 0 to 1 minus integral 0 to 1 derivative of first function is 101 into 1 minus x power 50 whole power 100 into derivative of inner function is minus 50 x power 49 into integral of 1 dx is x whole dx. After applying by parts, we are getting this step. Now, I am simplifying further. When I apply the limits to the first term, I will get 0 minus 0. In the second term, I am multiplying this 101 and 50, I am getting 5050, this minus as it is 5050 times integral 0 to 1, this 1 minus x power 50 whole power 101 as it is, whole power 100 as it is. This is minus x power 49 into x is minus x power 50. Here I am adjusting so that I can write this integral as in terms of I1 and I2. For that I will add 1 and subtract 1 to balance. Now, this is equal to minus 5050 times this into this 1 minus x power 50 will give you 1 minus x power 50 whole power 101 dx minus integral 0 to 1 minus x whole power 50 whole power 100 into 1 will give you integral 0 to 1 minus x power 50 whole power 100 dx. See, if you observe, this is I2 and this is I1. So, I am just writing like this minus 5050 times this is I2 minus this is I1 implies I2 is equal to minus 5050 times I2 minus into minus plus 5050 times I1. So, that implies I2 plus 5050 I2 will give you 5051 I2 is equal to 5050 I1. Therefore, that implies I2 is equal to 5050 by 5051 I1. So, if you compare with this, alpha is 5050 by 5051. 5050 by 5051, first option is correct option. With this it completes 19th problem. Now, let us go to problem number 20. This problem, if this is fractional part function, then what is the fractional part of 3 power 200 by 8? Fractional part of 3 power 200 by 8. I am taking this number 3 power 200 by 8. I will express this number as integral part plus fractional part. Then I will get the fractional part of this number. Okay, I am simplifying this. See 3 power 200 can be adjusted like this, 3 square whole power 100 by 8. Why I am writing this 3 square? Because 3 square is 9, that 9 can be expressed as 1 plus 8 and I can apply standard form of binomial for that. So, I am writing 3 square. So, 3 square is 9, 9 power 100 by 8, which can be written as 1 plus 8 whole power 100 by 8. Now, for the numerator I am using standard form of binomial. Keep 1 by 8 aside. 1 plus x whole power n formula, 100 C naught plus 100 C 1 into 8 plus 100 C 2 into 8 square plus so on 100 C 100 8 power 100 by using standard form of binomial. Now, 1 by 8 times this 100 C naught is 1 plus, say from second term onwards, in each term you have 8. So, you can take 8 common, then I will get 100 C 1 plus 100 C 2 into 8 plus so on. This is equal to 1 by 8 times 1 plus 8 into, this is a natural number. If you simplify that, you will get some natural number. I am taking it as k, where k is a natural number. This is equal to 1 by 8 times of 1 is 1 by 8 plus 8 k by 8 is k. So, which is equal to k plus 1 by 8. So, for this number 3 power 200 by 8, I expressed integral for part and fractional part. So, what is the fractional part of this? 1 by 8. Therefore, fractional part of 3 power 200 by 8 is 1 by 8. So, our option is second option. Second option is correct option. With this it completes problem number 20. Now, let us go to problem number 21st. This problem is from sets and relations. Set A has m elements and set B has n elements. If the total number of subsets of A is 112 more than the total number of subsets of B, then the value of m into n he is asking. So, I am writing the given information. Number of elements in set A he has given m, number of elements in set B he has given n. So, the number of subsets of A, so number of subsets of A is 2 power m, number of possible subsets of set A is 2 power m by the formula, and how many different subsets are possible for set B, because B has n elements. So, 2 power n, but the number of subsets of set A is 112 more than the total number of subsets of B. That means, given 2 power m minus 2 power n is equal to 112. So, select the natural numbers m and n, so that 2 power m minus 2 power n is equal to 112. So, if I write this 112 as, say 128 minus 16 is 112. So, therefore, 112 I am writing 128 minus 16. So, which can be written as 2 power 7 minus 2 power 4. So, therefore, m is 7 and n is 4. So, m is equal to 7 and n is equal to 4 satisfies this equation, 2 power m minus 2 power n is equal to 112. Therefore, m is 7, n is 4. He is asking m into n value. M into n is equal to 7 into 4 is equal to 28. So, Our answer is 28. Integer type question it is. So, 28 is the answer. So, now let us go to 22nd problem. F x is equal to, is given this much when x less than 0 and this much when x greater than 0 and 0 when x equal to 0. The value of lambda for which f double dash 0 exists. When f double dash 0 exists, f double dash 0 exists if and only if f double dash of 0 minus is equal to f double dash of 0 plus. Now, I have to calculate f double dash of 0 minus and f double dash of 0 plus. For that I am calculating f dash x first. F dash x is equal to derivative of this first function x power 5 into derivative of sin of 1 by x is cos of 1 by x into minus 1 by x square. So, minus x cube cos of 1 by x plus second function is sin of 1 by x into this, that is 5 x power 4 into sin of 1 by x plus 10 x when x less than 0 and 0 when x equal to 0, and the derivative of this is x cube sin of 1 by x plus 5 x power 4 cos of 1 by x plus 2 lambda x when x greater than 0. This is f dash x, but I want f double dash x. So, f double dash x I am calculating now. F double dash x is equal to the derivative of this is minus x cube into cos of 1 by x is minus sin of 1 by x. Of course, the derivative of this I will get two terms, okay, I will calculate minus x cube into derivative of cos of 1 by x is minus sin of 1 by x into derivative of 1 by x is minus 1 by x square plus cos of 1 by x into minus x cube is minus 3x square plus first function 5x power 4 into sin of 1 by x is cos of 1 by x into minus 1 by x square plus sin of 1 by x into 20x plus 10 when x less than 0. This is the second derivative when x less than 0 and 0 when x equal to 0, and when x greater than 0 what is the second derivative? See, x cube into cos of 1 by x into derivative of 1 by x is minus 1 by x square plus sin of 1 by x into 3x square plus 5x power 4 into derivative of cos of 1 by x is minus sin of 1 by x into minus 1 by x square, first function into derivative of second function plus second function cos of 1 by x into derivative of first function is 20x cube plus 2 lambda. This is the second derivative when x is greater than 0. Now, f double dash 0 minus I am finding. What is f double dash 0 minus? 0 minus means I have to take x negative. So, I am putting x equal to 0 in this, the first term will become 0, second term will become 0, third term will become 0, fourth term also will become 0, only I will get 10. So, f double dash 0 minus is 10. Similarly, f double dash 0 plus means right hand second derivative is equal to, when I put x equal to 0, 0 plus means x greater than 0 function I am taking. So, in this I am putting x equal to 0. So, this term will become 0, of course. See, x cube by x square is x only. So, I am not writing the step. So, I can substitute. So, this becomes 0, here 3 x square. So, this becomes 0, x power 4 by x square 0, 20 x cube, therefore, this is also 0. So, I will get 2 lambda. So, 2 lambda. But f double dash 0 exists. So, left hand derivative is equal to right hand derivative, therefore, 2 lambda is equal to 10, therefore, lambda is equal to 5. So, lambda is equal to 5 is the answer. He is asking you to find the value of lambda. So, lambda value is 5. So, the answer is 5 in this in integer type question secondary 22nd. We will go to 23rd problem. Okay. This problem md square plus mc square is minimum, means from maxima minima. This problem is from maxima minima. Let AD and BC be two vertical poles at A and B respectively on a horizontal ground. Okay, I am drawing the diagram simultaneously. AD and BC be two vertical poles at A and B respectively on a horizontal ground. Okay, let me take this be the horizontal ground. AD and BC be the vertical poles, AD and BC be the two vertical poles where A and B are on the ground, A and B, AD, BC. AD is 8 meters, BC is 11 meters, this is 8 and this is 11 meters. Then the and AB is 10 meters, he has given this AB distance also, this is 10 meters, take meters. Now, then the distance in meters of a point M on AB there is a point M from the point A such that this is maximum. That means, M be a point on AB, you have to find out the distance of the point M from A. Let means you have to find out AM. AM is equal to how much? So, let us suppose AM is x. You have to find out AM so that MD square plus MC square is minimum, that is what he is asking. So, I am joining CM and DM. I am getting two right angle triangles here. Okay. Now, I am calculating MD square plus MC square. What is its value? What is MD? In this right angle triangle, this is x, this is 8 meters. Therefore, by Pythagoras theorem, it is x square plus 8 square plus MC square. When AM is x, this total is 10, therefore, this MB is 10 minus x, MB is 10 minus x. So, MC square again by Pythagoras theorem, MC square is equal to MB square plus BC square, that is 10 minus x whole square plus 11 square. This is MD square plus MC square. I want it for what value of x, this is minimum. For what value of x, this is minimum he is asking. So, let us take this be a function in x. I am differentiating. What is f dash x? 2x plus 0 plus 2 into 10 minus x into minus 1 plus 0. For maximum or minimum, derivative must be 0. For maximum or minimum, derivative must be 0, f dash x must be 0. implies what? 2x minus 20 plus x plus 2x is equal to 0. 4x is equal to 20, x is equal to 5. So, at x is equal to 5, this will be either maximum or minimum. To decide it is a minimum, you have to go for second derivative. What is f double dash x? F double dash x is 2 plus 2, 4. This is positive for all x. Therefore, md square plus mc square is minimum at x is equal to 5. That means, the distance of point M from A must be 5 meters. So, the answer is 5 meters, 5 meters is the answer. With this it completes 23rd problem. Now, let us go to 24th problem. Okay. This problem is from vectors. A bar, B bar are unit vectors, then the greatest value of root 3 times of magnitude of A bar plus B bar plus magnitude of A bar minus B bar. See, whenever they give magnitude of a vector, to find a magnitude of a vector, first let us consider the square of the magnitude, because you can simplify square of the magnitude of a vector, not magnitude of vector. So, I am selecting square of the magnitude of A bar plus B bar, I am selecting. We know that square of a magnitude of a vector is equal to square of a vector. So, A bar plus B bar whole square I can write, and by the formula you can write A bar square plus B bar square plus 2 times of A bar dot B bar, and square of a vector is equal to square of its magnitude, magnitude of A bar square plus magnitude of B bar square plus 2 times of A dot B. Definition of A dot B is magnitude of A bar, magnitude of B bar into cosine of angle between A bar and B bar. What is theta here? Angle between A bar and B bar, where I am supposing angle between A bar and B bar be theta, then I can write like this. But given that A bar B bar are unit vectors, therefore, magnitude of A bar is 1, magnitude of B bar is 1. So, 2 times of cos theta you will get, which is equal to 2 plus 2 cos theta, 2 times of 1 plus cos theta, which is equal to 4 cos square theta by 2, 4 times of cos square theta by 2 I am getting. So, magnitude of A bar plus B bar square I am getting 4 cos square theta by 2, and similarly I will calculate magnitude of A bar minus B bar square, which can be written as A bar minus B bar whole square, which is equal to A bar square plus B bar square minus 2 times of A bar dot B bar. If I simplify, I will get 2 minus 2 cos theta similarly. So, 2 times of 1 minus cos theta, which is equal to 4 sin square theta by 2. So, what is the value is asking? This value is asking. So, now I am taking that root 3 times, after this I am writing here root 3 times magnitude of A bar plus B bar plus magnitude of A bar minus B bar is equal to root 3 times. What is the value of magnitude of A bar plus B bar? Whole square I got it 4 cos square theta by 2. It is simply 2 cos theta by 2 plus this value is whole square value is 4 sin square theta by 2. Therefore, magnitude of A bar minus B bar value is 2 sin theta by 2. So, this is equal to 2 root 3 cos theta by 2 plus 2 times of sin theta by 2. This is of the form a cos square a cos theta plus b sin theta, always less than or equal to root over a square plus b square. So, 2 root 3 whole square plus 2 square, which is less than or equal to root over 4 3s are 12 plus 4 16, that is 4. So, the greatest value of this expression is 4. So, 4 is the answer. So, the answer is 4. So, with this it completes 24th problem. Now, let us see problem number 25. This problem is from heights and distances. Heights and distances problems, if you draw the diagram properly, then you can do the problem very easily. Now, I am trying to draw the diagram by reading the problem. The angle of elevation of the top of a hill from a point on the horizontal plane passing through the foot of the hill is found to be 45 degrees. So, for the first sentence I am drawing the diagram. See, there is a hill, this is the foot of the hill, this is the top of the hill. From the foot of the hill on the horizontal, there is a point here. From this point he is observing the top of the hill and he finds the angle of elevation is 45 degrees. Next, after walking a distance of 80 meters towards the top he is walking 80 meters distance. How he is walking towards the top? Up a slope inclined at an angle of 30 degrees. With a slope of 30 degrees, he is going 80 meters. So, after going here to the horizontal plane, the angle of elevation of the top of the hill becomes 75. From here he is observing the top of the hill, then the angle of elevation is 75. So, angle of elevation means I have to draw the horizontal and this is the angle of elevation 75 degrees, 75. Then the height of the hill in meters is, so he is asking the height of the hill, let it be h. This is the diagram. He has given this angle of elevation 45, this is 30, this is 75 and the distance from this point to this point is 80 meters. He is asking this length. Let us give the names A, B, C and D. See, for making the problem simpler, I am drawing a horizontal line through A. See, we know that the horizontal alternate angles are equal. So, therefore, see these are two horizontal lines and this is the transverse L, therefore, this angle is 45, therefore, this angle also 45. Next, this are two horizontal lines and this AD is transverse L for these two horizontal lines by alternate angles equal, because this is 75, therefore, this is also 75 degrees. Therefore, this angle becomes 75 minus 45, 30 degrees. Next, here this angle is 45 given, this angle is 30, therefore, this angle is 15 degrees clearly. So, in triangle ADC, I know this angle and this angle, therefore, I can find out this angle. 15, 30, 45, 180 minus 45 is 135. So, this angle is 135. So, to get h, what I am doing is, first I will find out this length AC, let AC be x, AC I will find out, AC I will find out. For that I will use sine rule, because x I want, its opposite angle is there and CD length I have 80, its opposite angle is there. So, in triangle ADC in triangle ADC from sine rule x by sine 135 degrees is equal to CD length is 80 by sine of its opposite angle is 30 sine 30 degrees. So, x is equal to 80 into sine 135 value is 1 by root 2 divided by sine 30 value is 1 by 2. So, this is equal to 80 root 2 you are getting. So, x value is 80 root 2. See, this is 45, this is 45, this is 75, this is 30, this total is 90, right, this total is 90, this is 75, therefore, this angle is 15, this angle is 15 degrees. Therefore, this angle is again 45. See, this is 45, this is 15, this is 30, therefore, this is 45. So, this angle is 45, this angle is 45 in right angle triangle ABC, this length is equal to this length clearly. This angle is 45, this angle is 45, this is 90, therefore, it is a right angled isosceles triangle. So, therefore, when I take this is h, this also becomes h. So, h square plus h square is equal to x square by Pythagoras theorem. By Pythagoras theorem, h square plus h square is equal to x square. So, 2h square is equal to x square 80 root 2 whole square. So, 2h square is equal to 80 square into 2. So, implies h value is 80. So, 80 meters is the answer. So, the height of the tower must be 80 meters. That means, the height of the tower is equal to the distance which you travelled from C to D. So, with this it completes 25th problem. Thank you.